So this is a demo review for possibly pose, whatever you'd like it to be pronounced, POS. Alright, so I have some notes written down for which rounds I want to watch because as I've realized, whenever I watch like demos and go through them, I just rant and they take like 20 something minutes and I have to edit that down, so I'm gonna try to make this as efficient as possible. Pistol round, I mean, you did fine. You didn't do anything terribly wrong. Um, you guys won, so. Alright, so round two, I wanted to bring up your buy situation. So, what I want to talk about that is, so we took a quick look. You guys won the first round, so you guys got more money than terrorists. Um, you had somewhere around 3,500 cash, and you bought Kevlar, no helmet, a flash, and a CZ. Now, on a round where the terrorists had AKs and you were forced to save and do an eco round, I wouldn't mind this buy at all. But because you had won the round prior, which was pistol round, and you knew that your opponents would be broke, um, you definitely need to be buying an automatic gun or a scout, um, preferably an automatic gun. Reason being, second round, um, terrorists will pretty much almost always buy armor tech 9, or armor and some type of pistol. Granted, you're at a lower rank, so not everybody does this, but you'll run into pistols pretty much 90% of the time for the second round if you win. And the idea for buying an automatic gun for the second round, if you won the first one, is that it gives you the upper hand in every gunfight. Yeah, a pistol versus an automatic gun will all like it will that gunfight will always favor the automatic gun. Doesn't matter what pistol they have, it will favor you if you have an automatic gun. So keep that in mind, and also you need to be buying head armor because if you get shot in the head by a P250 or a Glock or a Tech 9 at a long distance, it's not gonna headshot you if you have a helmet. If you have no helmet, you're gonna get headshot. Um, I think you understand the economy meta because I saw you buy Armor Tech 9 on T-side pistol rounds, so I'm not going to get into that. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, um, I would I would suggest looking up the economy meta for buying on second round. Let's see. Alright, I believe, yeah, you guys lost that last one. Then you buy a FAMAS, which is not suggested for when you lose that second round because your team was broke, and you generally want to be buying with your team, right? I'm gonna go to this fourth round. And what I want to talk about here is you did this last round as well, and it worked out for you, um, which I wouldn't mind. So you throw the smoke again, and you push through A main, like this, and you just play a really aggressive A main. I have some concerns about this. Isn't suggested because, of course, you pop off this game, you top frag, so you getting these kills, you're just feeling it this game. So the reason why I don't suggest pushing into A main with your FAMAS here, in this specific context, I don't suggest it because you should like have an idea for what the enemy team's economy is like, and in this one you should understand that they're either force buying or just on an eco. And the force buy, they're not going to have good guns, which they had 3 Tech 9s, Bazone, and an AK. So only one of them has a good gun. So when you're playing an anti-eco, which if you don't know is when you have your team is able to buy, but the other team is forced to save, you don't want to play aggressively, and you don't want to play close angles. The reason being is because the best possible situation for someone with a pistol to kill the other team is when they're close to you. When they're right next to you, right? No one wants to be fighting an M4 across the map when they have a P250 or a Tech 9, right? They want to be fighting that M4 when they're right next to them because it's easier to kill them because you have a pistol. So when you're playing really aggressive when they have pistols, you're putting yourself in a position where you're giving them an opportunity to kill you when you can make the odds so much lower if you just played defensively. And that's why I want to talk about that round. Round 6. You've been, I think this is, yeah, round 6. There is a specific play that happens at A site that I wanted to talk about. So, you hold white box, which is totally okay. That's totally fine. You make your way up to catwalk, and this is kind of where the problem happens. And that happens, that happens. Of course, you had a good game, so you didn't die there. So the reason why this isn't the greatest play is because when you came up catwalk, you immediately wide peeked out to here to look at A main. This is not a good idea, especially because Squeaky can be opened, so you can get shot from there. And there's also A main, so you'll be fighting someone A main while being shot at by Squeaky. Luckily, your teammate was here, so you covered your flank. The reason why being out here just isn't a good idea is because there's absolutely no cover. You got really lucky because you got flashed right there, and you backed up and fell out of catwalk. You jumped out of catwalk with nearly no damage, pretty much, which was just really lucky for you. When you have the gun advantage and the numbers advantage, when you have more people, there's no reason to play aggressively like this, right? So you could have just sat here and then held this angle, right? It's just a much better angle, or you could have been at this angle or something. Being out here in the middle of the open, it could easily get you killed. Luckily, you didn't get killed, but you could have easily gotten killed. So you want to be playing angles where you have some cover to back up to if you need, because when you're taking gunfights, you want to be taking a gunfight bursting like 5, 6 bullets, maybe 7 or 8, and then if you're not winning the fight, you back off, you take another angle. Alright, you give your team information, you put pressure on the enemy team by just staying alive. And then if you dealt some damage or you didn't take too much damage, you peek out again after taking cover, and you take that fight. The only time you want to keep continuing the fight is if you see that you hit them 3 or more times with a FAMAS or with an AK 2 to 3 times, M4 2 to 3 times, right? That's the only time you should be full spraying. So not a good angle. Sorry, not a good angle from here. You want to be playing this type of angle or this type of angle, right? So, yeah, try not to die. That's a big tip I have for you. Round 7. The only note I had at the beginning was that someone drops you an op. You don't have a defuse kit, and you have 3,500. Not a huge deal, because 4 people on your team have a defuse kit, but you never know, right? No. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? And then this is just you popping off, ridiculous. And then later on, you just get like super aggro. Oh, I guess that wasn't the round. I guess I marked down the wrong round. But you were playing really aggressively eventually, and you died because of it. But you were just feeling it, so I mean, I don't blame you. Like, you got that 3K, no problem. So I don't blame you for playing aggressive with the op this game. Granted, do keep in mind, you don't always want to play very aggressive. Oh, this is the round I was talking about. If you don't see them for a while, there's no need to get antsy and start hunting them down. Your CTs, you can win the game just by waiting. So, I mean, if you want to go search him out and get those kills, feel free to try, but just know that you're risking losing the round. Because they're playing some weird, like, I don't know, turtle strategy. I don't understand. But we're gonna move on to round 10. Whoopsies, I passed it. There we go. Round 10, and okay, this is about you opping on A site, and this is just a general opping tip. So you're watching White Box, you get flashed, we throw another flash, you turn away right at that last second, but that's totally okay because your teammate tells you they're on site. Just as a general tip, when you hear that, it's really hard to say what to do in that situation. But again, you have the distance advantage because you have an op. You don't need to run this way. If anything, just staying white box and then peeking down would probably been better. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. It was totally okay to go to site because your team needed help. And then the next round, you went A with your. What the heck? Whatever. I'm getting all confused. Oh, it was the round after this, huh? Alright. No? What the? Alright, I'm not confused. Forget about it. It wasn't even important anyways. And then the next round I wanted to talk about was round 16, which was pistol round T side. Alright. The reason why I wanted to talk about this round is just the way that you kind of played it out. To be honest, I watched the rest of the game. Not really important. You just had a monster game, so you're just feeling it. So, what I wanted to talk about was pushing the site, right? Hold this angle. Kill that guy, shoot that guy tree, he dies. Clear sight, 3v4, bombs down. Teammate gets a kill tree. You know one's checkers because your teammate's getting shot at. And the decision I don't agree with starts around here. Right, you hold this angle and just kind of a ridiculous angle. I think you understand what you did wrong there. No need to go there. You're in a 3v2. You were in a 4v2 and then your teammate died. You shouldn't be playing this. You know where both of them are because your teammate was getting shot at from like 2 different angles. Just hold sight, you know. Hold there, headshot, behind this box, back of sight, anywhere. Because whenever you have the man advantage, you want to be playing defensively because the odds of them beating you 3v4 are pretty crazy. Now, if you're in a 3v4 situation where you need to get the bomb defused, that's when you play. If you're in their situation where they're in a 2v4 and bomb is down, that's when you start playing risky shit. But when you have the man advantage, there's no reason to play that. And I think you guys ultimately lose the round. Yeah. So had you not done that, you guys could have won that pistol round, and this game would have ended so much quicker. So I don't blame you for going crazy because you just had a monster game, but you also have to keep your ego at the door, especially when the round or the half resets, because comebacks can always be made, especially at the lower ranks. I promise you. So, I mean, you're a good player. You popped off this game, but I think the biggest problem you're having is positional problems. And I think you just need to take more, you need to start working on holding more angles that are more impactful, and more angles that you can find cover to, because a lot of the times when you were dying, granted you weren't dying too often, a lot of times when you were dying, you were just getting caught out in an open position. Like one time, you were opping on A site, and you were on quad, and went for this kill, and then you stopped looking, and you didn't have your scope out, and you weren't looking this way, and you just died for someone pushing quad. So I mean, it's just positional work. Like if you were going to kill this guy, you could have just pushed here, kept yourself safe for a little bit longer. Stuff like that. Really basic stuff. Just always remember, um, try and keep as much cover between you and your enemy as possible, um, especially when in a gunfight. Head glitching is always super important, where they can only see your head and you can see the full body, or a lot of their body. That's what you want to be going for. Stuff like that, right? So, yeah, you're a good player. Just start working on your positional impact, and you'll be ranking up real soon. Alright, have a good day. Peace.